So they sent 3 BIR examiner explaining kung hindi dapat katakutan ng BIR. So BIR is a friend, ito willing to help, willing to assist, and computing the right amount of our taxes. So yun, alam natin we pay taxes.
Meron akong mentor no na sa negosyo. Sabi niya sa akin, anong biggest tip? Tinanong siya kasi we were also speaking in front of a crowd. It was initiated by the DTI. we were being asked. I think we were talking about generational gaps between those managing the business. And then somebody throws a question: what's the biggest advice you can give on taxes? And then he goes like, wala na po ngayong ledger A, ledger B. So, I mean, it's funny now, but, in a sense, people used to do that. I don't know why. Is it culturally associated with being Filipino? Na, makakalamangan mo. It's also not a good way of doing business anyway. It'll bite you back in the ass. Pero, ledger A, ledger B. Actually, nung narinig ko yun, parang ako, meron palang ganun. Wag na daw gagawin yun.
Wag gagawin ng gano'n. Kasi,
that was a thing.
Ano pag nagkamali ka?
Yeah, and it was a thing in the 80s when everything was like, yung Microsoft Excel natin ngayon, that used to be a big-ass ledger. Now, you had to have a meter stick.
Yes. Baka magkamali ka.
Mechanical pencil.
Yes. Baka yung line na nasulat mo yung number, iba. Yeah. So you need a ruler.
Naalala ko
to guide you.
When I was
explain ko ba kung bakit may ledger A at ledger B?
No.
Wag na.
I think self-explanatory naman yung ledger A, ledger B. Maybe they want to be furnished a copy, di ba? I don't know.
Ang problema
Masama na ko alam dyan.
Lads, kung may inspection, let's say may tax mapping si BIR, ang ibigay mo yung ledger A na dapat B, ay, tapos tayo dyan.
No, it's not a good thing,
Yes.
To
our listeners, to our viewers,
don't do that.
please, don't.
It's something na yung culture natin for uniquely to Filipinos na kung may pagkakataon makalamang or pagkakataon na halimbawa ako makalusot, lulusot, it's actually very it will hold you back.
Yes, correct.
Kaysa maybe ngayon feeling mo nakaangat ka, eventually it will come back to bite you in the ass.
Possible in your first time nakalusot ka, second yes, nakalusot ka ulit. But there is a time talaga na hindi ka na makakalusot.
You would know.
Hindi mo alam.
You would know, di ba? Kasi ikaw, ano ka na? Alam mo yan.
Ako, mahulaan ko kung kailan. Yung pwedeng ilusot sa hindi. Kasi, nakikita ko yung records. Ako, as an accountant, I can see, may mga involved akong financial data na confidential. So, I can give advice to our clients na mahirap yung ganitong gusto mong gawin. Too risky.
Paano nga ba tayo napunta sa usapang ledger A, ledger B?
Yeah, kasi pag nabanggit yung taxi, masyado tayo napapaiba yung discussion.
Yeah. Anyway, going back.
Moving forward. Our second question sa government.
Okay.
How can the public and private sector collaborate to foster entrepreneurship?
Okay. Maybe, like I said earlier, when it comes to students, technology became the answer to address the barrier for entry. You can also create that same effect when there is a collaboration between local government units and the private sector. Let me give you an example. There are instances where meron tayong mga tycoons or investors that just don't know where to park their money. Right? Now you have these fresh ideas coming from young people, from mga generation ko, mga Gen Z. Diba? Ang daming ideas, mga
Kasi
generation.
ako nasa millennials na ako
Millennials ka. Okay. So may age gap tayo konti.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, yung Gen Z, they have all these fresh ideas, but they don't have the funding. Now, you would be surprised by the amount of funding that can be poured into a well-explained idea that has the potential for growth. Now, merong ganon. Meron din tayong mga investors that just want to exploit that idea.
Yes.
Diba? So kawawa naman yung nag-conceptualize ng idea.
Correct.
Now, here's where the local government can come in.
Mm.
Mr. Boomer, meet Mr. Jensen.
Okay.
This is his idea. We're going to protect his idea with IPO, everything, etc., etc. And you can buy maybe in exchange for 40% equity, you can shell out maybe an X amount of investment.
Yeah.
Provided that you give them support and these aspects, yada yada yada, all outlined. So the LGU will be the referee.
Yes.
And they will be the bridge to connect private sector would-be investors to those with fresh ideas. Diba? Now, it's an important aspect of business. Even those in Silicon Valley, all that, big tech companies, they have exit strategies. Minasar had a brilliant exit strategy.
Yes.
Ganda na exit strategy niya.
Retain
Retain equity, percentile, small percentile of what he originally owned, but sell product to
Yes.
Jollibee Corp.
Yes.
Ganda ng exit strategy niya. So, he is a seasoned businessman. He knew how to do it. But what about those who are just starting out? You don't let that business idea die. Diba? It had potential, you just needed funding, you needed a business model, you need a mentor. So maybe the LGU can collaborate with the private sector to find these ideas, these geese that lay the golden eggs,
Yes.
capitalize on that and expand it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way of
Very good.
looking at it.
Very good. So, sana may magkayaring mga ganong
I think
initiative.
meron naman. It's just that, you know, a lot of, it works both ways. Yung may mga, they have this fear. Yung may mga gandang idea, they have this fear na if they put it out there, it's going to be stolen. Yada, yada. But, you know, not too long ago, I was asked to participate in a survey. The survey asked, you know, I was asking all these questions, usual, routine stuff. And then they go and ask, would you be willing to rent family-owned things? Examples like cribs, high chairs, toys, bikes, etc. Let's face it, you want to buy those for your kids, diba? Pero at the end of the day, pag lumaki na yan, anong gagawin mo dyan?
Wala na.
Wala na, diba?
I bet
So rent it
na
for a
wala.
fraction of the price and then, you know, recycle. It's also green business.
Mm.
Because you're essentially not adding to the waste, but you're recycling, reusing it, na may mas makakagamit na mas nangangailangan. So, you know, that's a good idea. I got that idea off a survey. Diba? Pero the guy who initiated the survey said, hindi ko to ilalagay dito kasi baka may makabasa nito, gayahin yung idea ko. No, he had a different way of thinking. He said to himself, I need to gather enough data to be able to decide whether I should pursue this endeavor or not.
Yeah, that's correct. Yun ang mas okay.
Mas okay yun ang way of thinking.
Oo.
So, like I said, it works both ways. Yung mga investors would, you know, medyo
Tsaka
ko
hindi
gusto.
nyo naman masisecure na hindi yun naisip ng ibang tao.
You know, that's the reason why blue chip stocks work so well. They don't gatekeep anything. And investors will willingly hear, take my money.
Yes.
So if you're going to invest in anything, look at the aspects that define that business. Within the next 10 years, kung relevant pa ba yung mga factors sa'yo.
Correct.
Diba? Nobody's going to suddenly decide na gusto ko yung Jollibee pa rin 10 years down the line, pero baka pwedeng mas hindi ganun ka-crispy yung balat. So you need to capitalize on those things. Those things that work, you need to decide to invest in that. If it 10 years down the line, it's going to be a relevant metric.
Yeah.
So, yun.
So, ganda yun Ganda.
Wala pa ako nakainom.
Talagang masasabi ko sa mga listener and mga viewers natin, talagang well-rounded experience to. Kasi
Wala pa yung alak.
wala pa alak. So mamaya, hindi pa kasi close pa kasi yung sanctuaryo pag-open. Alas 4 na ba?
4 minutes, 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Pwede tayo order ng beer. So later po, pag nakainom na si Lance, mas marami pa siyang may share sa atin. So, yun. Excuse me. Going to private sectors, employees in private sectors.
Okay.
How can employees develop an entrepreneurial mindset while working in a corporate settings.
Do you mean they want to think like an entrepreneur or go into entrepreneurship?
Going to
Go into
while
entrepreneurship.
they are
Employed.
employed
Okay.
in a corporate setting.
Okay, here's my tip. To those who are employed in a private business, privately owned business, and you want to go into business, you need to save your money.
First,
Save your money first. Despite what you think, despite what you see on social media, take the leap, go ahead and jump, take that risk. Remember, the execution matters most.
yes,
So save your money. You need to be able to have money enough for you to survive 6 months without a job
yes, and without a salary.
and without a salary. Now, if you think about it, going into business, you have that period where you're not going to earn money. You're going to accrue debt. You're going to accumulate debt. You're going to get into a lot of things now. Actually, is part of learning how to do it. But when you're in that position and you don't know how to pivot yourself, kasi you have this idea, right? You have this idea and you have a clear vision of how it's going to be. And you have a business plan, ito na yung mga plan of actions mo, you define the commercial terms, etc., etc. Your business plan is solid. Now, yung execution na darating. Biglang, somebody throws you a punch in the face.
Yes.
What do? Ayoko na. Diba? You already burned your bridges. So wala na gagawin mo. What do? You need to be able to learn how to pivot. When you're already there, you took the leap. You saved your money for 6 months, and you have 6 months na budget. You took the leap, invested in the business you want. It's something you're passionate about. And then, boom, biglang, saan galing yun? Bakit hindi to pwede? Meron na palang nauna, merong ganito, iba yung demand. Originally, we wanted to sell wings, pero mas bumibenta sa amin yung milk tea.
Oo.
Diba? You need to pivot. Hindi, gusto ko yung wings ang ibenta ko because I believe na mas masarap yung listening namin. You're not listening to the demand.
Yes.
Diba? You need to be able to pivot when the opportunity presents itself.
Yes, correct.
So, yan siguro.
Baka kasi yung iba pride nga.
But actually, madaming ganyan, ego, pride. Yung baga, yun ang nagiging deciding factor nila na, hindi, maganda yung idea ko, it's solid. I believe it. Now, meron din ganyan, na you're really passionate about your idea that you do not want to abandon it at all. Okay, so if that's your thing, you're really passionate about it, then don't expect to get paid. Muna.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes.
Okay? If you look at the startups that have garnered so much success, they never had a business model to begin with. What they did was purely passion. Now,
Yes.
if that passion translates into something, you need to learn the business side of that. You need to learn finance, you need to learn marketing, you need to learn operations. Saka mo na gawin negosyo yan.
Yes.
But do not establish it as a business first, but doing it passionately is one way of approaching it also.
Good.
Oo. So,
Good.
pwede din
So
gano'n.
yun ang ganda doon. No? Sabi mo, Lance, mag-ipon ka mo ng budget na makasurvive ka for the next 6 months.
6 months.
Kaya yung mga employees natin din sa private sector and you're planning to put up your own business, mag-ipon ka muna before you go to business. I remember, Lance, may pumunta sa opisina, nagpa-consult sa akin. Gusto niya mag-put up ng business while working. Sabi ko, paano mo ma-manage yung business mo na nagtatrabaho ka?
Okay.
So mahirap yan. You cannot serve two masters at the same time.
True.
So sabi ko it's either you give up your yung work mo, employment mo, or huwag ka na mag-business. Sabi niya, gusto niya yung business daw. Then, you give up your work. Magkano na yung ipon mo? Sinabi sa akin, malaki na rin yung amount. So, good enough, you can start up your business. But the problem na meron ka ngayon is yung time mo. Time mo to invest in your business and time mo rin sa employment mo. Ayaw niya kasi give up yung employment niya.
Okay.
Sabi ko sa kanya, dyan ka magkaroon ng problema.
Yeah.
Kasi ito, i-compare mo to in your first 3 to 6 months talaga,
Yeah.
wala kang receive na salary.
Wala.
Puro ka out ng pera.
Mhm.
So, mas naiisip mo, dapat dinala ko ng negosyo.
Mm.
Kasi doon sa employment ko, every month may sigurado akong monthly salary. Pero dito sa business, hindi ko alam kung kikita ako o hindi. Paubos na yung budget ko.
Oh, that's very relatable doon sa sinabi mo kanina, high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
That's also applicable to this particular scenario. Kasi stable yung job niya, stable enough that, it offers her security. Pero it's limiting in a sense na hanggang doon na lang siya.
Correct.
Oh. But as opposed to going into business, yun nga, there's risk, but it could
Yes.
also have potential to
Earn more.
earn more.
Yes,
Oo.
correct.
Kanya-kanya diskarte na lang yan. I would think na, syempre, it's hard to give up something that offers you security. But, it won't work out. Na, tama yung sinabi mo, yung, hindi ka, how did you phrase it? You can
cannot
serve
serve
two masters at the same time.
Yeah.
There's an old adage I really loved before, that the fox that chases two hens catches none. So, ganun din. In principle, you need to focus, fixate on something you want to do and then do it with immense focus. Your passion should be poured into that.
Yes.
There's a Japanese discipline, I think, that centers around that principle. You do something and you do that something really well.
Yes. And sa mga viewers and listeners natin dyan, marami ako na-encounter na ganitong scenario. Gusto nila mag-business, pero takot sila malugi.
Okay.
Sabi ko, doing business is purely risk. You can mitigate the risk, you can reduce the risk if you have proper planning.
Yeah.
Yun lang ang pinaka-problema. Yung iba, ayaw talaga mag-take risk. Okay na ako sa job ko. I'm earning 20, I'm earning 30, I'm earning 40K. I'm okay with it. But in business, you will earn more than that as long as you have the proper ideas, proper information, correct information, enough information, and of course, good habit. Kasi meron din ako naging kliyente, nalulong sa sugal.
Okay.
Lahat ng collection niya, his business is doing good. Lahat ng business niya, pinagsusugal niya.
Okay.
Turns out, he lose every paratis, natatalo.
Okay.
Diba? It's another form of place. Diba? Natatalo, nakuha niya yung collection. There comes his supplier, maninigil na. Wala siya pambayad. To the point na kinontak na ako. Di ba ikaw yung accountant nito? Yes, I'm the accountant, pero hindi ako yung owner. So, ba't akong sisingilin mo?
Oh my God.
So, we have the same problem. Ako nga, hindi din yan nababayaran.
Oh, okay.
Balance din sa akin. So, we both have the same problem.
So, yung to address yung takot mo, yung takot nila na malugi, well, like I said, yung kliyente mo, hindi lahat na nagsusugal na nanalo.
Yes.
Hindi lahat na nagne-negosyo, umaasenso.
Yes, correct.
Hindi rin lahat na nagtatrabaho, masaya.
Or yumayaman.
Yumayaman. So everything has its own risk reward.
Yes.
There's always a trade-off. You just need to find something that, we're talking about going into entrepreneurship. If you think it's for you, then give it your all. If you're still debating whether you should go into entrepreneurship or not, then try it at least once.
Yes.
No?
Yung iba naman, Lance, ang sabi, let's test the water.
That's the water.
Start small, win up big. When I lose at the start, I lose small.
Yeah.
So, let's test the water first. Pag maganda, okay, let's put up more amount of investment. Yun ang ginagawa ng iba. Ang tawag doon, mitigating the risk.
Yeah.
And of course, if you mitigate the risk, the leverage of reward will also reduce accordingly. So yun, if your business, doon nga, you start small and maganda yung business, taasan mo yung risk mo, taasan mo yung leverage mo.
That's one more thing kasi. Some people, seem to think, when you take the leap into entrepreneurship, it's either go big or go home. Hindi yung ganun.
Oo.
It doesn't always have to be like that. You can't always expect to be the next Uber, the next Airbnb,
Correct. It's
the
a
next
long process,
Facebook.
no?
Hindi yun ganun.
Oo.
I mean, it's not always like that. There's an element of luck that's mixed into it.
Yes.
Pero hindi yun, hindi yun yung tipong sunugin mo na lahat tapos, di ba? You're risking everything all at
Yes.
once. It's, people seem to think that they can compete at a level when they recognized and they were already giving credit to these giants that have already established the past decade or so.
Correct.
It's different,
Correct.
di ba?
Yes.
You have to be able to recognize what's new now.
Yes.
Who would have thought? Ikaw may Bitcoin ka ba?
Ibang coin. Hindi
Ibang
Bitcoin.
coin, but you
Yes.
have cryptocurrency, so it's
Yes.
not fiat. When did you start buying it?
I mind it.
You mined it.
Yes.
So classic.
Yes.
Bigay mo talaga. Wow, I'm impressed. Ganun
I mined
matagal na yan.
It's almost 3 years I'm mining. It's still
3
mining.
years. Okay, so, meron? Okay. Yun, example yun, ha? You mine the cryptocurrency, but again, if you mined it 3 years ago, you were still a little too late. Now, a lot of content I've seen revolving around cryptocurrency, and was there any possibility that anybody recognized the trend? Wala. Because those who had a lot of cryptocurrency saved up, the Bitcoin particularly, didn't even know what to do with it. But they were using Bitcoin to pay for like subscription to
Right.
magazines,
And even buying
games,
cars.
in games.
Yes.
Pero ngayon, you get a fraction of a Bitcoin, sobrang yaman mo na.
Yes.
No way to recognize that, di ba? Now, if you're buying now, it's a little too late. But if you had it before, then
And
napakaganda.
they call it like, ano na yung technical term, they call it, they use it as like a commodity, they buy it, you can buy another commodity using that coin.
Yeah, actually, but it's non-fiat currency. It's but it is recognized as an acceptable form of
Payment para
Payment.
Like alternative to monetary or money.
yes, and there's no regulations
Yet.
that define. Not yet, and I
Not
don't
yet.
think there will be. I don't think
Yes,
there will be.
yes.
Kasi if once you do that, the value is going to plummet.
Correct.
It's the appeal in cryptocurrency now is because it's not regulated. That's it.
And that's the best part
Yeah, yun yung best part actually.
for now.
Oo.
Yeah.
So anyway, those people never even recognized that what they were doing was going to propel them into. You can't even call them entrepreneurs. I mean, quite frankly, those who even the franchise model, one of the most impressive business models we have in the last 100 years in doing business. Even that one, you wouldn't have the whole 100% entrepreneurial experience. Because you're buying a already tried and tested model
Yes.
for a franchise fee, and you
Yes.
give them royalties to be able to use their brand, their methods, etc., etc. Pero it's not 100% entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Diba? Pero again, it takes grit to
Yeah.
operate a franchise. No?
Like example, you franchise Jollibee.
Ah.
For sure, Jollibee has a good market already.
Yeah.
So, shortcut mo na.
Yun!
And
Yun, that's the
pagkatapos yung
difference
risk.
eh.
Yeah.
Tayo ka ng fried chicken.
Oo.
Fried chicken store. Sabihin natin mas masarap sa Jollibee. Do you have a demand when you open?
Yes,
None.
correct.
Diba?
Wala.
Jollibee, meron na.
Meron na.
Oo. Nagtatayos ka pa lang ng Jollibee,
Oo.
may demand ka na.
May tarpaulin ka pa lang sa labas. Jollibee.
Opening soon.
Opening soon.
Oo.
Ang dami na dyan nagpapapicture.
Oo.
May
Jollibee na kami.
may trends na yan sa Facebook.
Yeah.
Opening soon nga dito sa area namin. Wow, ganito.
Oo.
Malapit yan sa bahay. Ganun. So, mga ganun. So, yun ang advantage din in having a franchise agreement. So, yun. Shortcut mo talaga.
Yeah.
Yung mga problems na na-encounter ng mga starting up business, yun ang makakakat mo.
Yes.
Yun.
Anyway.
So, moving on, let's go to the national government agency.
National.
Okay. So, what are the biggest challenges for SMEs and how can government agencies address them?
Okay. So we're talking about national agencies. Should I name them or hindi na? Hindi na?
Yes,
Okay,
pwede.
siguro.
Okay, okay
Siguro.
naman, okay naman.
Anyway.
Baka bisitahin ka. Pag
Hindi naman, hindi naman. I'm just, I don't, kasi when you're talking about these, national government, it's a national interest. Diba? And you have SMEs. SMEs comprise a lot of, a big percentile of the total number of people doing businesses.
Yes.
Now, if we're talking about the national interest, how do you boost national interest? You can't rely solely on local economy for growth.
Mm.
Diba?
Mm.
Like, for example, what's the biggest industry with a pocket share in the Filipino people, regardless of income?
Mm.
That's online shopping.
Yes.
Diba? Dati, you know, a lot, I've spoken with companies, multinational, multi-million dollar companies that told me that the problem with driving up sales to be able to hit the target the same pre-COVID
Mm.
was to reacquire pocket share. Pero that's, I think, is a little hard to do, especially now. Dati wala naman ibang ginawa ang tao, di ba? We consume goods, iba, umiinom, pupunta sa mall, bibili ng damit. But now, Lazada ka, Shopee, Temu,
TikTok store.
Meron?
Meron na.
Meron TikTok store na.
Oh.
Okay.
And because of that online stores, na-boost din yung market nyo. Yung mga career, transport.
Yes. Oo. But you see, I'm coming from a perspective where you're trying to have the SMEs, right?
Mm.
Yung mga SMEs na yan, they don't have a way to do that without the platform that is online shopping.
Correct.
I'm talking about
Correct.
retail alone.
Yes,
ah.
yes.
But if you're talking about a service or something else
Oh.
locally, you have to think at a broader scale. Now, if you have a product, siguro the national agencies can help connect them with territories. Like there's like here we have Pili, we have Laing, we have ano bang local products natin na significant sa international market. We have
Abaka.
handicrafts.
Mm.
The national government maybe can bridge connection between cooperatives locally, producers, manufacturers, and then connect them with buyers from different territories like the Americas, Europe, Asia Pacific, etc.,
Yes.
etc. Pwede lang gawin yun. That's one. That's very specific though. And yun, opening market with any business, if it's a product or a service, number one priority is definitive factor whether your business is doing good or not is sale.
Mm.
If the national
Yes.
government can increase your sale,
Correct.
your market share, then of course, malaking bagay yun.
Correct.
But how does the national government do that? Diba? There's a lot of things. There's actually economics na to eh. Medyo
Oo.
medyo malalim na to. But you
Oo.
know, it all cascades. You know, you increase the ordinary Filipinos' purchasing power, and everything else
Yes.
has a ripple effect.
Yes.
Diba? So
That's correct.
maybe address it with the purchasing power first. And then that's a big help already to the SMEs. Kasi, okay, one way of doing that, to increase the purchasing power of your customers, is to kunin mo yung pera ng mga dayuhan, mga turista. Diba? They have very high purchasing power.
Mm.
Kunin mo yun. So maybe boost tourism, capitalize on tourism. That's one way of looking at it. Pwede yung gawin.
Then government has the sole control
Hindi naman.
ng pag-regulate kung sino mga puputang turista
Well,
natin.
yes, pero you know, depende what are we talking about?
Maybe we're not in the best position.
Pero no,
Diba?
hindi na. Pero
So, yun. Ay siguro naisip ko, like Shopee, the government can develop an application where yung maiwasan yung mga scam. They really check that the product is same with the description being ordered.
yeah, actually,
So, gano'n. And isang buting part din yan, the government can easily monitor their sales. And the tax implication is very easy to check.
yeah,
So, it goes,
ini-incentivize sila.
yes. So, it helps the MSEs, our business owners, and also helps the government to collect more taxes. So it's a symbiotic
Symbiotic relationship.
benefits. Oh, yes.
Yeah, yun siguro. That's a very good way of looking at it actually.
Kasi paminsan, bibili ka shopping, but you will check muna kung legit ba to, may mga magandang comments pa, di ba? So ngayon, medyo okay na rin yung mga online platforms natin na talagang legit yung mga seller. Pero may mga times pa rin na mayroong mga bogus, especially yung sa mga Facebook store, ang daming bogus pa dyan.
Actually, we have that in R&D ngayon sa one of my... We're actually doing that right now. It's still in the early stages of R&D, pero we've already recognized that problem. Even sa amin. Meron pupunta sa amin dito, magkiklaim ng package, pagbukas sa harap namin, bato yung naman.
Oo.
It's disheartening to think that people would do that.
Doing business, pero mangluloko.
Manloloko. Like I said, di ba? It will come back to bite you in the ass eventually.
Yes.
Hindi siya maganda. Hindi siya maganda.
Ako, personal na experience ko yan. Bumili ako ng item, pero dineliver sa akin isang tumbler na worth 100 pesos. And I pay, let's say, 1,000 for that.
The value of that tumbler is 1,000.
Yes.
Book value.
Yes, but the current value in the market is 100 pesos. It happens, nung time of delivery, wala ako sa bahay. So yung nag-receive is yung mother ko na hindi naman chinek kasi nagpapadala. Sige, ito bayad. Akin yan. Pagbukas ko, tumbler, wow! Busy, sa'yo na lang to.
Special tumbler.
Yeah, so mga ganun sana. If our government can intervene to correct or to check the legitimacy of the package, yun sana. It could give more peace sa mga buyer. And of course naman sa mga seller. Seller kasi na-scam din. Yung mga COD kung di magbayad.
Yeah.
Next, we go to the out-of-school youth. What are the most accessible business opportunities for young people with little capital?
Okay. Out-of-school youth with no capital or little
capital.
Okay. I think you need to start with positioning yourselves in a way where better opportunities will be opened up to you. By that I mean, develop a skill set that's on demand and then work up enough funding to use as capital for your business.
Yes. So,
and you can use that skill set also.
You mean, dapat i-develop muna nila yung skill nila para yun ang magamit nila sa pag-put up nila ng business?
Well, not directly, pero I mean, develop a skill that will allow them to be paid in a way na they can actually use it. Pwedeng ganun din. Like if you develop a skill that has demand, let's say, out of school youth, you seem to have a knack for fixing up mga electronics, electricals. You start from there, and then eventually you start building a network of people na refer ka. Ito pag nagtrabaho, malinis, magaling siya. And then eventually, you build that network, and then you find a way to, sir, baka gusto niyo po, meron akong produkto. You have a principal approach, meron kaming produkto, since marami kang kinakapitan, baka gusto mong i-push to. We'll give you royalty of X amount, and then we'll sell it to you at a cheaper price, pwede mong dagdagan ng profits mo. Pwedeng ganon.
In relation din sa mga na-experience natin during pandemic, ito hindi ito limited to the out-of-school youth. Kasi during pandemic, lahat tayo nakakulong sa mga kanya-kanya nating bahay. So, nauso noon yung mga homemade, lahat ng homemade, tapos ibebenta. So, with little capital, you can create business. So, without regards to whether you are out of school youth, whether you are a graduate, you're a professional, lahat tayo nung pandemic, pantay-pantay. Lahat tayo walang business, walang trabaho. So, yun. Yung mga daming noon na nagsilabasan ng mga business ideas because of this homemade, because of my talent, my skills, ginawa nilang business. So, something related dun.
Maraming ganyan, di ba? But I have a question.
Yes.
Bakit ang daming nawala?
Kasi when the situation become normalized, the demand nawala.
Nawala, exactly. During that time, yung pocket share for homegrown businesses that sold homemade products, lumaki.
Mm.
Bakit? Yung mga tao, they had money that was not spent on normal things. It would surprise you during the pandemic. I had a friend told me that, a classical guitar is worth around 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. Started selling during the pandemic. But normally, what people would spend going out or traveling or paying for gas, naipon.
Buying liquor.
Buying liquor. Kasi yung pandemic, hindi tayo umiinom eh.
Hindi, bawal eh.
Bawal.
Wala,
Yeah,
walang
naipon
alak.
yun.
Naipon.
Nung naipon yun, they have all this surplus that, yung friend ko, displaced from work, selling that looks like a delicious ubi pandesal. Take my money, let me buy it from you.
Yes.
That's how many were able to sustain. Diba?
That's
That's a word of caution.
Yes.
It won't always be the same. Na you'd think na, okay, nung pandemic, bumenta ako ng ganito. You raise a stupid amount of money, and then eventually, when you pour all your, like I said, putting all your eggs into that basket, because you thought it sold well during the pandemic, tapos biglang na-reverse. Ano nangyari sa'yo ngayon? Diba?
Na-reverse ka rin.
Na-reverse ka rin. Reverse Uno card.
Oo.
Mahirap yung gano'n. So, word of caution lang, again,
Yes.
make informed decisions.
Yun. So, babalik tayo sa pinaka-first answer ni Lance that before you do that, dapat kompleto yung information mo sa business kung saan mo gusto i-put up.
Yeah.
So, kahit naka-start ka na ng business, you keep on gathering additional information, additional new ideas to innovate, to improve your products, your service, your business. Yun. Kaya Lance, last question.
Okay.
To our general audience, sa lahat, what is the best way to turn a passion or hobby into a profitable business?
Okay. Change the intention.
Change the intention.
Change the intention.
Paano yun? Paano?
Do not establish yourself as doing a business that revolves around your passion. Start with the passion. If it's anything that will merit being translated into something that will generate profit, it will. Just keep doing it. If you are in a position that you are blessed enough na yung passion mo will also generate income for you, then napakaganda nun. But not all passions can be translated into business.
Yeah.
But if you are in a position where your business provides you with ample income, you can pursue your passion indefinitely.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, Lance, that will be all. So,
Okay.
thank you very much of your time. And bukas na yung sanctuaryo. Doon natin pagpapatuloy ito.
Okay.
Pero off camera na.
Camera.
Okay, so thank you very much of your time.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye-bye. Abangan nyo kami sa susunod.